Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
Good morning and welcome to Newsline, live from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And joining me this morning is my colleague Bandula Jaisek. Good morning, Mr. Bandula.
Good morning, Mr. Shaukat Ali.
And also we are honoured to have with us our guest this morning, Dr. Devasiri and Dr. Nimal Ranjit Devasiri, to be proper, from the University
Got
of
it
Colombo.
right for us.
I got it right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Dr.
Good
Devasiri.
morning.
And nice to have you on Newsline. Everybody's mind must be on the US elections. What will happen, Dr. Devasiri, if Donald Trump, the rank outsider, politically speaking, what happens if he's elected? What about relations with the Middle East?
No, well, it would be, a kind of shocking experience for the non-American mind.
Yeah.
Especially, I think we have already. I think especially those who are in the East, you mentioned about Middle East and even Sri Lanka, so we have a kind of love-hate relationship with the America.
Right.
And especially we hate American foreign policy and so on. So therefore we have transformed Trump into a sort of villain already.
I mean, the thing is, he makes statements like he's going to ban Muslims from traveling.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Yeah.
So he doesn't exactly endear himself to the Middle East and the Arab world, does he?
Yeah, that's the case. I think but I think that if by any chance if Trump wins, it is beneficial for the radical Islamic ideology in the Middle East, because actually what radical Islamism is doing, they are trying to mobilize the public opinion.
Or is it a victory for, as we say, white America?
Well, it is, of course it is a victory for them, but actually you have to look at the long-term picture. And I think so the America is, highly divided. This division is much more than ordinary party-based division. Always you have divisions between Republican and the Democratic supporters, but this is more of a kind of two kind of mindsets, two kind of psychological the trends. And so therefore Trump is saying many things that ordinary the moderate Americans would not say in public, for example.
He's sort of saying, so it's a bit like this program, because Bandler and I and Patrick, we say things which we believe are reflective of the, of the public. Wasn't that right?
What Sri Lanka wants.
What Sri Lanka wants. So there's nothing wrong in being reflective of the wider public.
What happened is that so there are, for example, I think we discussed this in the Sinhala program as well. So what kind of people who are behind Trump's campaign? For example, blue collar workers and the people without college degrees and so on.
Right.
Yeah. So they have a sort of very so they don't have a clear future. For example, there are a lot of employment issues, and so they need some kind of different approach.
But sorry to interrupt, Nirmal. Now, when you were mentioning about this program, trying to divert from the American politics here, your best friend, the Minister Lakshman Kiriyalla, is blaming the media. It's in the Sinhala News, the sister paper of the island, saying that it's the media which made Arjuna Mahendran victim.
Really.
We should get Dr. Devasiri's comments on
Please,
that.
Well, I don't know whether he's my best friend, you know.
No, I was saying Faraz is best friend, not
okay, I'm sorry. No, I mean, in a sense, he's right. You know, that was media, you know, which exposed the thing.
Yeah.
And so in that
We
sense,
exposed it. We
yeah,
didn't
but you know,
create
I
it.
think it is. I mean, you can look at so these kind of things from various, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, on one hand, you don't have to take what these politicians say seriously.
You're absolutely right. That's
Yeah.
the critical thing. There's no need to take them seriously.
I mean, so they need media attention. They want to say things to, you know, the microphone.
The media
and
is
so on.
always wrong if you were to believe these politicians. But Brandon, sorry, do you think we could get an update? What does your machine say?
No, I mean, we are still, you know, still results are coming, but now what I've got the latest is Trump 48.8 and Clinton 48.1, 91% counted then, 29. This is in Florida. They got more results coming through.
Right, and I think on the line we have Shaheen Jurangpati at the American Center in Colombo giving an update. He can't hear us, but we can hear him, hopefully.
Yeah, but also there's this time.
News on Newsline this morning. Well, the moment of truth has arrived for the United States of America as Americans have voted and polls have closed in the United States of America to elect the 45th President of the United States of America. Well, the question remains, who will be the next president? Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton or Republican Donald Trump? Well, early projections suggest that Democrat Hillary Clinton is leading the electoral votes by 68, while Donald Trump trails by 67. Now, as of this morning, Clinton has secured states like Ohio, Vermont, Connecticut, and North Carolina, while Trump has secured Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas, Virginia, West Virginia, Alabama, and Florida. Well, just to give you a breakdown on how the U.S. election works, unlike Sri Lanka, it does not go in a direct voting system. It goes through an electoral college. Now, the electoral college consists of 538 electors, with the most number of electors in the state of California with 55, while Texas holds the second highest number of electors with 38. Now, what happens is for us that the voters, they submit their votes to their electors, and the electors submit their vote, which requires a majority of 270 votes, which will elect the President of the United States of America. Well, stay with News First to know who will be the next president, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump. I'm Shaheen Jurangpati at the Lincoln House, the Deputy Chief of Missions, official residence.
Thank you, Shaheen Jurangpati there. So, Bandana, looks like a very close battle going on there.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, but if you ask me, Derek, I would like Donald Trump to win.
Really?
Yes.
Why? But I'm seriously thinking about oil and long queues in the gas stations if the Saudis, for example, don't like him. Because he doesn't
this is
like
all
them.
an act, like I was speaking
it
to
an
Dr.
act?
Davis. Yeah, they all act. This is, this is Hollywood after all. Yeah, they're
Because
all.
I think the doctor might agree with this. Aren't they all sort of linked intrinsically?
Like in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
It's a club.
Because the Saudi money is out there, and all the investments they're investing. It's all these cross things going on.
Club in Sri Lanka. They're all.
Is it a little cozy club?
No, actually, it's the global politics nowadays, so they are closely interlinked, and they even we see certain the rivalries, and so recently there have been allegations against Hillary Clinton where he funds his campaign also behind this funding this IS, and so these kind of things. I mean, so in public, in the eyes of public, you see divisions, you see rivalries, but when it comes to there are a lot of interest that link these opposing groups together.
And also for us, the latest news from the Foreign Policy magazine says that Hillary, if she becomes a president, she could be very hawkish.
Right.
They said the people may not let her be. The latest from the Foreign Policy magazine says.
No, I think you can hardly expect a major change especially in foreign policy matters.
And I was also discussing with Dr. Devasiri that if you take the Sri Lankan experience, we had President J.R. Jayawardena who received a right royal welcome, a proper state visit when President Ronald Reagan was there. That was a Republican president where Frank Sinatra sang for him. It was a rose garden event. After that, no Sri Lankan leader received such a response, such a welcome.
Why do you think that is, Dr. Devasiri?
No, I think, you know, that's I mean, you need a, you know, the long answer and, you know, some strong reflections on U.S. foreign policy and so on. But I'm interested in, you know, I mean, you said that, so America has a more the position more advantageous to Sri Lanka when Republican president in power.
Right.
You mentioned Ronald Reagan and George W. Bush, especially the George W. Bush's role in the context of the military confrontation between the Sri Lankan state and the LTT. But interestingly, when you look at the public perception towards America, so this public perception is created through the, you know, the deeds of Republican, you know. I mean, we tend to demonize the Republican presidents more than, you know, the Democratic president, for example, Clinton or Obama, for that matter. Right? So therefore, I mean, there's an interesting situation, and I mean, and also, so we love the Americans, those who are critical about American policies. For example, Noam Chomsky, you know, people like that.
Sorry to interrupt. You know, there is a news coming for us from California. There's a shooting incident. The situation volatile and critical after polling station in California. Polling station lockdown after active shooter in California.
Well, like in Sri Lanka. Well, yes, you don't normally hear this in the US or in Britain. Where do you? This political...
there is a criminalization of politics. So that is, I mean, so there is a definite, I think, you know, actually...
there's a lockdown in California.
So I mean, especially the fact that, so there is a clear, serious division in public perception. It's a more psychological, you know. I mean, these two candidates represent two diverse opposing views.
And Nirmal, is it fear mongering? From both sides.
Yeah, that also a part of it. You know, when the context is intense, right? So you reach at a level that, you know, I mean, you can't accept the defeat, right? And so it's, after all, the violence is very much part of, you know, American life.
I've got a viewer who's obviously following events very well. It makes a very valid, poses a valid question. Says, can you check whether Dominda or Mervyn are in California?
We should check with
Can we check? Because the last I heard, one was incarcerated at His Excellency's pleasure.
We should tell the latest I am getting from CNN is Trump 66%, Clinton 68%. Hillary Clinton leads Donald Trump 68-66 in the race to 270 electoral votes. 66, Trump 66, Clinton 68.
Either way, whoever it is, Trump or Clinton, it's going to be another record, isn't it? Because you have Trump, who's politically the rank outsider, and Clinton being the first
woman
female.
And so there may be, you know, Hillary's come to power, a lot of records, and, you know, I mean, I saw that, you know, there's a debate over how to identify Bill Clinton, right? Whether he's identify the former president or the, you know, spouse of...
Bill will be Bill for us.
Bill, Monica, Clinton.
I'm sure. You could afford to say that we are a British subject, so I'm sure you can.
Dual.
Yeah, dual.
But the thing is that you can... But it's odd, isn't it? What would he do? Will he have to walk 2 steps behind Hillary?
I'm sure. Because Hillary did walk 2 steps behind, and she put up with Bill Clinton's antics. I'm sure it's payback time for Bill Clinton.
Yeah. What was when you were serving in North America? How did they view Sri Lanka's politics and politicians?
I think it was different times, but I think it was different times, difficult times in Sri Lanka. It was more antagonistic towards the US.
Yeah.
But now things seems to be changing. It's opened up. But my point is, we all should have our own foreign policy. We are a small country. We cannot fight the world. We need to work with everybody, and they should be all our friends.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we should do whatever they say. We should look at our own interests. But unfortunately, the small and poor countries cannot look at their interests, don't you? We have a problem.
Yeah, but I would like to enter from a different perspective, different vantage point, because you said that the foreign policy is the separate thing, but what has happened in the case of foreign policy in Sri Lanka, and so it has become very much part of domestic politics, right? So people even in the street talk about foreign policies, and so they are very much interested in US election and so on. So therefore very animated about what happened, and so therefore there's a heavy public pressure on those who take decision on foreign policy affairs, especially in Sri Lanka, and so it is not like in the States. In USA, whoever come to power, there are some fluctuations, but the
basic
basic
approach
approach remains the same.
So really, no real benefit either way for Sri Lanka.
No. And for us, they will not fight like our people. If you go back the history, the Clinton, Bill and Hillary Clinton, and Donald and Melania Trump, they are friends. They are good buddies. Now they are contesting. You wait and see.
You're also the same.
Yeah, right. No, but right. So, but they won't fight like our people.
Yes.
This is the difference. They will patch up and they'll stand up and work towards great America.
Now, Doctor, I want to ask you. You were also one of those sort of leading figures, if you like, in the quest to have regime change, to re-establish good governance. Because I believe that we always had good governance, but we seem to have lost it along the way somewhere. And so you all fought for and lobbied for good governance. Having done all that, are you happy today?
Well, you can't be happy in politics, and you never be happy. That's.
I'm going to ask you my follow-up question.
We fought for a regime change. Well, not to be happier in the. There are a lot of things you can be happy, and a lot of things you can be unhappy.
Are you happy about the bomb scam?
No need to answer that. But
why? Because
because the answer is obvious.
That it's you.
But
you lost 20,000 rupees.
Yes,
really?
And each person, each Sri Lankan, to pay 20,000.
But you can be happy in a different sense. You can be happy in the sense that it has become a huge public discussion. Right, so you can't, just...
But, at the end of the day, talking rupees in cents, what is the point of all that when one lot are going to get away with... And it's not 5 billion and it's not 11 billion. When those results, the next results are out, Bandula, it's going to be something in the region of 14 billion. Mark my words, right? Maybe plus or minus a billion here, a billion there. The point is, Doctor, it's serious amount of money.
Yeah, it is serious amount of money, and also what I'm thinking is that it is it is all about how public take this issue. To what extent they are serious about it?
Well,
because actually,
it's notional.
You're always talking about this political responsibility. Who take the responsibility?
Yeah.
So, recently the minister Iran Vikramaratne made a in my view, hilarious remark about, the responsibility of the Prime Minister. And so he said that, he appointed a suitable person for the post, afterwards is not, you can't do anything about it, which is absolutely nonsense.
He could keep his mouth closed and not make statements like,
the first
I ordered the change of the system. We are all forgetting, the Prime Minister included, seems to have forgotten that he has no legal right to instruct the governor of the central bank to change the system. He can ask him to consider it, and then it's the monetary board that does that.
And then why did he appoint him as one of his advisors?
No, actually that's exactly the case, because what I am looking at, especially in response to my good friend Iran Vikramaratne, the political responsibility is such that, we have not elected Arjun Mahendran, no. We elected the Prime Minister, we in the sense that, the public. And then, so you, as the, giving the political leadership to the financial establishment, you delegate your power to a person who, in your view, is capable of, doing the job. But when you think that he is not doing the job, you have to take measures. What was obvious from the very beginning, that including the Prime Minister Wickremesinghe, those who are close to him, defended him, and also, as he said, he was appointed for another position. So, which make him politically responsible. So that is the bottom line.
Well, I think the bottom line is slightly different. The bottom line is the Prime Minister. We are told that Cope doesn't mention his involvement. All right. Then what made the Prime Minister come to Parliament and announce himself that it was he who asked for the change of the system of awarding the bonds? So he must take responsibility. We didn't ask him to say that. He made that statement all on his own.
No, I think that, we don't need to go that far to, hold him accountable, because, there's the minister, the one who is politically responsible for the one, he must take the responsibility. And so that is the...
What should he do?
Well, you can do a lot of things, I think.
What should he do?
Yes, first and foremost, should stop, defending, directly or indirectly.
Stop defending who?
The Arjun Mahendran and the whole,
And also for us to admit, we're talking of these American elections, and then he follows the Western democracy. He's a member of the International Democratic Union. So why don't he follow those examples and then live up to that? That's what Prime Minister is famous for. He goes around, gives lectures. He should follow those.
Actually, the most important thing is that, you have to revisit. Just think about pre-January 8, 2015 situation, right? So I think, just recollect what we were saying, how we were saying, and on what basis we made allegations against the former government and so on, right? So we did not make allegations on the basis of clear evidence, no. So there was some prima facie, evidence.
I don't know. You're bordering on this thing, which I found always a bit ironic, when the diaspora used to make claims and the Western world jumped on that bandwagon on a train that was going nowhere, and they said that they had credible allegations. What on earth is credible allegations of war crimes, for example? If it's credible, it's proof positive. Allegations, but what do you mean credible?
And any comments from the IMF or the World Bank about this ADB, about this bond scam, I'm sure they should comment on those things.
They ought
and others.
No, I think, in my view, this is a real litmus test for the credibility of the present regime, and so that's obvious.
We have here the headline of that of the newspaper, The Island. Joint opposition seeks Singapore intervention to probe Mahendran. calls for freezing of assets. But you know, this is Professor J. Pires. Isn't he a legal man?
He's a legal man,
He's
but
just
I don't know
statements.
how practical he is.
Well, he's just making statements. Why doesn't he
He's
get
not
on
a
his
legal
bike?
practitioner. It's a legal problem.
Why doesn't he get on his bike and ride to the Bribery Commission?
He doesn't have a bike for us.
Well, perhaps he can walk there, but he needs to make a complaint. He can't be sitting there making
That's what they are only
statements.
making statements.
What's the point? It's a waste of the space in the newspaper to do that, because he's just wasting everyone's time. And he knows jolly well what needs to be done. As a lawyer, he knows that. But instead of that, he's asking questions like, who are you to ask me?
Did you call
Well,
him?
I did.
Did you speak to him?
I called him in my capacity for the paper that I write for. That was his response. This is all, they're just making sound bites.
So are they all playing to the gallery, Nirmal? All these people. We want action, like saying...
Well, the gallery wants action.
Yeah.
The gallery, if that's what they call the people, they want action.
Now, well, there are two sides. Yes, of course, politicians have to play for the gallery. So that is one thing. And also at the same time, when it comes to action, there are two ways. Sometimes you're serious about taking action on certain things. Sometimes you want to show that you are taking action. So there's a good joke about the history of Soviet Union, right? So it's a bit of a long story, and so for example, it's referring to the ways that each Soviet leader did things.
Yeah.
When it comes to Brezhnev,
Yeah.
it's they equate the Soviet history with the train.
Yeah.
Right? So what Brezhnev wants to show the world that, want to convince those who are inside the train, the train is moving, but it's really not.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So therefore, the politicians, rather than taking actions, so they want to show the people that they are taking action.
But actually, it's not. There's nothing happening.
Well, it's they have a lot of other interest. Right, so therefore, it's about...
Hillary is close to trailing Trump in Florida. It's a battle stage ground. That's the latest we got.
Is that it? Yeah, and as we come towards the end of our program, what's the situation now?
Yeah, no, we don't have the figures, but they are saying, because they say the results in Florida might decide the president's, who's the next president is going to be, but the reports say that she's trailing Florida.
Doctor, finally, last question. Plenty of claims made about the former regime. To date, not a single logical or legal conclusion to any such claim, including on claims of 18 billion spirited away, monies in Dubai, supposedly given, the information given by Mr. Mahendran. These are all allegations, obviously. But the point is, bottom line, no action. All claims, no action. Here we have a bond, the scam, where the Court has faulted Mr. Mahendran, at least in the sense that he hasn't acted as a befitting of the governor of the central bank. We have his own admission on air to us that he takes the responsibility for not informing the primary dealers, and so many. His son-in-law's company, or a company connected to his son-in-law. Put it that way. They've got all these legal things to take care of. But bottom line, a company connected to them, given 36 billion rupees by the central bank's system, so as really just to, nothing wrong in giving it, they'll say. Yeah, of course we know that. But how come the others didn't get it? Is it because they didn't ask, or is it because they didn't have their father-in-law as the governor of the central bank? All these things, no action.
No, the bottom line is that our system is so corrupted that no one take action against another, because, it's everyone, so, there are wheels fitting wheels, and everyone part of the,
So
thing.
in that case,
my point is that Of course, because of the the public is looking at them, so there are medias and the stories and all that. That you can't hide anything, but at the same time, you are part of it, so you are benefiting from it, and so there is a kind of indirect, the consensus among everyone to sustain this system, this corrupt system. So that is, I think, that is what we have to expose.
I think we need to fast track that exposés on what is not being done. Thank you, Dr. Devasri, for being on Newsline, and thank you, Bandu Jarasekara. In the meantime, do follow the news as we bring you the latest that's happening out there in the United States of America. Take care, have a great day, and God bless.
Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.